Wow, I did not expect all of those roots. I mean, obviously I probably should have. We've got 100-foot trees right here, but this area has never been plowed. It has never been subsoiled. It has never been tilled. Maybe we've tilled it, but actually no, I don't think we have. I don't think we have. And you can see all through here there are loads of roots. So I'm gonna keep plowing this. Maybe I'll kind of cut up some of those roots, break up some of those roots, but this is an area that we want to plant with our no-till drill. And last year the crop that we had in this area was really poor. I think it was really poor because we under fertilized it, but we planted a cover crop here this winter, and you can kind of see like it also didn't really do that much. It was a combination of oats and annual rye. The annual rye came up a little bit, not nearly as hardy as it should have. I mean, that stuff will pretty much, like, it'll grow on concrete if you want to, but it only came up like this much. I have annual rye in other parts of the property that is knee high already, and this stuff back here just really didn't do much at all. So I want to plow this, disc it, amend it, and plant another spring cover crop here before we put sunflowers in the ground, and that is what we're going to work on here today. So I didn't get this finished yesterday, so I'm going to finish it up today, but I wanted to show you what we're trying to accomplish here in this section of the field. I've got a little over an acre up here on the top part of the hill. Down the hill, you can actually see some white flowers in the background. We did a different cover crop over there, and I'll talk more about that in a separate video. But up here, we had sunflowers here last year. We actually did 2 crops of sunflowers. So there's a lot of residue on top. You can see a lot of it here, and we're now incorporating that into the soil. And there was also a lot of kind of woody weeds. There's dogbane, there's a little bit of autumn olive, there's a bunch of other stuff. I don't even know what it is, but there is just a lot of well-established roots from all of these woody weeds that have been growing in this field. And in 5 years that we've had this property, we've just mowed them every year. So those roots have been well established underground. I'm hoping now that we're plowing it, we're breaking that stuff up, we're going to come back behind and disc it, break that stuff up even further, and hopefully we can destroy that stuff enough that it doesn't continue to come back. If it does, we'll have to use some herbicides to get it under control. But that's kind of the plan for this. But you can see through here, actually the soil changes colors through here a couple different spots, and this is one of the things that has surprised me most about getting into this. It is how much the soil changes. So up there it's more red clay, over that way it's kind of sandy, and up here it's a darker loamy soil. So pretty cool how you can see how all that works. But when it comes time for planting, you know, the plants are going to react differently in these different spots, and that's just totally normal. Once you get into this kind of thing, you realize that happens. Pretty much every property, I think, has variations in the soil like that. But the other thing that I'm noticing is this here. We've got lots of grubs. They are everywhere. And we treated for grubs last year across the other half of the field, and we've seen the grub population decrease considerably. I had dug a number of different test pits last year, and before we treated, we could find 5 to 15 grubs per hole in 1 cubic foot or smaller area. We could find many grubs, and at the end of the season it was down to just 1 or 2 per hole. So a quick knockdown with just one treatment last season. We're going to end up doing a treatment here as well, because what we found is that the grubs just devour the tree roots, and we can't keep having that year after year, or you're going to have really poor survival on those trees. So that's one of the issues that we've had in the past with some of the tree losses, is that the grubs for sure ended up taking down a lot of the trees. So I'm gonna get back to finishing this up. Like I said, I'm gonna plow from here down to the white flowers. I've got another half hour worth of work here or so, and then we'll go hook up the disc. Well, I got it all done, but I actually had to run and get some diesel because that made the tractor work pretty hard. We burned through some fuel. So there's the disc. I just picked this up a week or two ago. I haven't used it yet. And I borrowed a disc last year from a neighbor, and it worked great, and I decided because it worked so well, I'm gonna have to go ahead and get one of mine, get one for myself. So we actually sold our big tiller. I had the 6-foot county line tiller that we used for the last 2 years, and it did okay, but tilling is incredibly slow if you're trying to do acres of planting, and I just didn't like how slow it was. And also I have found that the tiller will only really get down a couple inches, and I'm trying to change kind of the soil profile that we have here much deeper. But this disc here has got to be what, 7 feet wide? Let's actually check. Yeah, 7.5 all the way out to here. The inside one's probably 7. Check that. That's just short of 7 feet there. So yeah, obviously wider than a tractor. Let's see how it does. Well, did you see how one side of the disc was up off of the ground? I'm pretty sure my 3-point is pretty close to level, but there is a bunch of clay piled up in between some of the discs, and I think that's holding it up. So let me bust that out of there, see if it looks like it's riding level. And if this keeps happening, I might need to wait until this dries out a little bit more before I can go ahead and disc it up. So it did it again on the same disc, which is strange, but I'm gonna knock it out one more time, and then if it happens again, I'm probably just gonna give it a day or two and then finish this up after the soil dries out a little bit more. So I figure we'll go up here to the stuff I plowed yesterday, though some of this soil looks like it's a little heavier clay. It's got the red color for sure, but maybe it's a little drier. Maybe this will do better. This is also where all those roots were, so we'll see how the disc handles some of the roots. I think I'm going to lower this side of 3-point just a little bit, and I'm going to extend this and let that back down a little bit more. Looking pretty good out here now. I actually went and did 2 passes over the whole thing, and it is a lot smoother now than it was that first pass. Man, that first pass, it was bouncing all over the place. But I think now it just needs time to settle, needs to get rained on a little bit. And obviously I know we have exposed lots of fresh new weed seeds, and we're going to get some warm weather here real soon, so hopefully they'll germinate. We'll come back through, we'll spray it, and then we're going to put down our spring cover crop, which we're kind of a little late in doing, but we are not going to do a midsummer flower event this year. We're just going to focus on doing a larger flower event towards the fall. So we've got plenty of time to do whatever we want to do with this patch here, because I'm not going to need to plant sunflowers until midsummer. So that's kind of the plan right now, and that's why we're doing this right now. And I need to come through here with some fertilizer as well. It's the other thing I didn't mention, but complete transformation now. Now over here, I told you I'm gonna tell you in a next video a little bit about our cover crop that we did here, and we also did in our other flower patch across the property. So we did something different there because we've already plowed that soil before, and this area we had not. And I'll show you more of that in a future video. So I know this is getting long. If you stuck around this long, I appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good one. Leave your questions in the comments and I'll answer what I can. See you on the next video. Bye-bye.